All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash, the blessings to the elders and apostles of great restored. Shalom to the elect which in this word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahushai is the name of his only begotten Son. The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that RFID microchip is the MOTB. The serpent truth is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahushai, whom dwelling in called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So I want to go straight into this lesson concerning the signs of the times. And we are witnessing these things every day, but people look on these things as just natural disasters, great phenomenon, but I'm not understand that these things were foretold to take place in the end of this society, end of this age, or end of this world. And I just want to go for this precept like I make that statement just for. This is Zephaniah 3, verse 5. And it read, "The just Yahweh is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame." So they no regard what take place upon the earth as the judgments of Yahweh Shai. But you have certain men upon the earth who are going to see these things and know what they are, because these things were foretold and these things were shown unto them through the Spirit. As is written in 2 Ezra 8, verse, I'm going to start at verse 61. It says, "And therefore is my judgment now at hand," because we know that these things what transpire are all judgment poured down by Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Verse 62, "These things have I not shown unto all men." And that's why a lot of people, when they see them, they don't realize what's going on are the times that they're in. "But unto thee and a few like thee, then answered I and said, Behold, O Lord, now as thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times," meaning last days, "but at what time thou hast not shown me." Chapter 9, verse 1. In same 2 Ezra, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before." So I want to show you some of the signs that the Lord have shown thee before. Let's go to Isaiah, because I'm not going to even make this video too long. I'm just going straight to the points so you can have an understanding of the times that you're in. This is Isaiah 29, verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." So these things, Yahweh said, this is the way he might go visit the earth which he made. So going back to 2 Ezra 9, verse 1 once more, it said, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before." So you have to use the signs to measure the times. Verse 2, "Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." So we know that these things that transpire are all part of the visitation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, ushering his return. Verse 3, "Therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproar of the people in the world," and just look up how much earthquake you have in this year alone, "an uproar of the people in the world," and we have seen this right around the world. Verse 4, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world at a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest," meaning to be made plain, Even so, the times also the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs. So I'm gonna run this clip. So this clip is from Jason A. It says something biblical just happened in Spain. Just happened in Spain. So let's see.
Chevo, apocalyptic, biblical, these are some of the words being used to describe this weather event that hit the eastern part of Spain overnight.
Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez condemns Israel's attacks on UN peacekeepers in Lebanon and calls for an end to arms exports to Israel.
This is a historic decision that has a single goal: to contribute to achieving peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
With a massive cleanup job ahead in some parts, Spain's Prime Minister
Todos los medios necesarios hoy y mañana
warned the storm continues to wreak havoc with more bad weather forecast.
This is the worst natural disaster to hit Spain in recent history.
Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez called it Spain's worst storm of the century and promised relief.
I know that behind the damage there are decades of efforts and life projects which today were thrown into uncertainty.
The recognition of the state of Palestine is not only a matter of historical justice with the legitimate aspirations of the Palestine people, but it is also an imperative need to achieve peace. It is the only way to realize the solution that we all recognize as the only possible one to achieve a future of peace, that of a Palestine state that coexists alongside the state of Israel in peace.
And that's the thing, yo. Do not go against the will of Yahweh Shimon Shai, because as Yahweh Shai had said in Matthew 10, verse 34, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So that is the will of Yahweh Shimon Shai, yo. So no matter how you try, there won't be any peace in the Middle East. So that rhyme is a reason.
That of a Palestine state that coexists alongside the state of Israel in peace.
Officials are calling it the worst natural disaster to hit the European country in recent memory.
Recently deadly flooding this week. Look at this. People there are still desperate for aid days later as they dig their city out of an unbelievable amount of mud. Flooding began after unprecedented rainfall in southern parts of Valencia, and it so far killed more than 150 people.
These flash floods were truly apocalyptic. One town got a year's worth of rain in just 8 hours.
Let me just repeat what man just said. One town get a year's worth of rain in just 8 hours. That is nothing normal, yo. And if these are not signs, what is? These represent the Lord visiting the earth which he made. You hear them say over 150 odd people died. And that is what those are what them find. Them still are gotta dig through the debris to find more. And what they in a different parts over there in America, you had storms went over there and ripped through different place, flooding in different places of Florida and California. Carolina, California, Carolina. But how much people would have come to the realization that, hey man, these are all judgment poured down by Yahweh Shimon Shai. They're going to look at it as a natural disasters, yo. Not knowing the times.
Watch what happens to this bridge. These images have been widely shared on social media.
Rainstorms that started yesterday and continued overnight have brought torrents of floodwater that have proved the man-made is no match for Mother Nature's power. Southern Spain at this time of year is usually 25 degrees and more than likely bright sunshine. So this is Chiba, just outside Valencia, where a year's worth of rain fell in just 8 hours.
Torrential rains fueled what Spanish officials say was the worst natural disaster in the country's modern history.
Never before in history has there been so much rain. You can't even imagine the amount of rain that fell here yesterday.
It is a catastrophe. The floods we had in 1982, when I was 10 years old, were a joke compared to what happened here yesterday.
An ocean of flood water swallows everything. These cars tossed like toys, the deluge roaring through towns around the Spanish city of Valencia. Some communities simply washing away.
New video tonight shows the sheer force of Spain's worst flooding in decades. As the death toll soars, more than 150 people killed, scores more still missing. Watch as that muddy river of debris comes pouring into the city of Paiporta. A catastrophic torrent of water surging through this neighborhood in Valencia. Cars washed away.
In Valencia, the floods caused havoc never seen here before, washing cars away that were left piled up in the streets as the waters receded.
Just look at the wreckage the floods left in their wake. It is a terrifying reminder of the extreme weather climate change could bring, say scientists.
We're seeing a warming climate, which holds more moisture in the atmosphere.
You could have known so that narrative would have slide in somewhere, about climate change. You know who's changing the climate and the weather? Yahweh Shimon. No matter how much you know say Isa of weather manipulating devices, Yahweh Shimon is the one that gives him the knowledge to build these devices here. Because all these things are transparent now represent the signs of the end of this age.
And we're seeing more severe storms happening more often. And this isn't just the devastating floods that we've seen in southern Spain, but also across the UK and other parts of the world.
The conditions swept up cars, knocked down bridges, and toppled power lines. Train lines and major roads remain impassable, and officials estimate the damage could take weeks to repair.
Tearing down bridges, ripping up roads, and moving entire streetfuls of cars like they were just matchbox cars. And sadly, a lot of people were not able to escape.
James, the Spanish Prime Minister says this hasn't finished, those are his words, because new storms are on the way. So what could that mean for the search and rescue efforts in these areas already devastated by this flash flooding?
Yeah, Diane, it's terrifying for people living in the southeast. I mean, there's more rain forecast, and the rescue effort hasn't really even properly begun yet because so many areas are inaccessible.
The priority right now is, of course, finding the victims and the missing, and to appease the anxiety and anguish that families may be suffering.
The images of the cars that have been just tossed around like toys in the street just gives you a sense of the ferocity of this flood. And it's the timing, it just happened so quickly. People had absolutely no sense that this was going to happen.
Creo que hay que tratar la cuestión palestina cada vez más como abordamos la cuestión de los nazis que como se abordó la cuestión de Sudáfrica. Por supuesto hay que hacer todos los elementos de presión, pero no se entendería, yo creo que si conseguimos frenar el genocidio y pararle los pies a Netanyahu, no se produzca, por ejemplo, un desmantelamiento de las capacidades militares de Israel. Creo que eso es una cosa que tiene que estar sobre la mesa, sin juicios de Nuremberg, sin justicia, sin que realmente haya una rendición de cuentas y una garantía de no repetición de lo que está pasando.
Internacional cese de exportar armas al gobierno.
So, over here in the West might believe them escape what's to come. But let's take a look at what's going on in the Caribbean and around the Caribbean.
Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. It is highly likely now that Rafael forms in the Caribbean and heads to Jamaica. So watching this spot in here, still watching this area here north of Puerto Rico near Antigua Barbuda. I'll monitor that, we'll swing into that, but it's this area here that is going to lift up into Jamaica, and in 2 days we're going to have tropical storm conditions in Jamaica, then eventually the Cayman Islands and over toward Cuba. So I want to track that, the most likely path for this, and I want to show you what will happen with this area once it works its way into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I mentioned Rafael Raphael. Well, where is Patty? Well, this little spot I was talking about yesterday up in the North Atlantic by the Azores, that tiny spin right there, that became subtropical storm Patty. I'll get into the track of that in a moment, but some gustier winds will, of course, move through the Azores with that. So that is where Patty is. So the next name on the list is Raphael, and that's the one we're going to be tracking, and it's going to come out of this. Now, this area here, I'm monitoring this because remember, Oscar, none of the models picked up on the development of that. The Canadian model did. So I'll see if that does try to spin up. So I'm watching the Southern Bahamas and Turks and Caicos just to monitor that. But this area here, we're going to see over the next 24 hours more of a spin developing and a lot of rain, and then it is going to surge to the north right toward Jamaica, even on the edge of Haiti, especially on the southern coastline of Haiti, Jamaica, back through Boston Blue. We could get some heavier rain out of this. So what's happening with the models and the most likely path? First, the models, the American model, European, Canadian, and the Icon model all have this developing into a tropical storm. Some a borderline hurricane down the road, but conditions not as conducive for strengthening in the Gulf of Mexico. And I want to highlight that in this video because you may be wondering what's going to happen next. But in the short term, a high concern with that flooding right through Colombia. I was highlighting that yesterday, right? The really heavy rain near Colombia, the flash flooding that's been going on, that's part of this developing system. That's going to lift up toward Jamaica. And as soon as tomorrow night and Monday, it may be a tropical storm at that point. So based on everything I'm seeing with the computer models, but more importantly, what's going on in the environment, I don't just look at the models. This is the outlook. Today, we have that heavier rain near Colombia. Tomorrow, this area should still, the L on the map. That means an area of low pressure, basically a storm system, but not a named storm system yet. So watching this storm system kind of lifting up to the north by tomorrow on our Sunday. And then on Monday, it could be sitting right on top of Jamaica, right on top of us as a tropical storm. Even if it's not a named system at that point, say it doesn't become a tropical storm, it's still going to bring the tropical storm conditions in the really heavy rain. So I want to show you action mode in just a second, but this is going to work right into Jamaica, either as a tropical storm or with at least those tropical storm conditions, and some of that may brush by parts of Haiti, and then lift up to the north and northwest by Tuesday. So that'll put some tropical storm conditions near parts of the Cayman Islands and parts of Cuba, especially eastern and central sections of Cuba on Tuesday. Then after that, by Wednesday, this area should lift more to the northwest. That will bring a tropical storm, or at least tropical storm conditions. Again, the strength on this is going to be very difficult, but at the least.
So, as I said, I'm not going to make this video too long. I'm just showing you the workings of Yahweh Shai in these last days. Yeah. The Lord is about to do great wonders in the earth. Yeah. So I hope this is a different word that I want to say, because I love Yahweh Shai, Shalom.